What's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are going to be talking about something a little bit different. If you guys haven't already seen my thoughts about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, definitely go check that out on the playlist, or you should probably see an annotation for it somewhere in this video. If not, I'll have a link to it in the description as well. But I am really hyped about Marvel vs. Capcom, so I thought today would be a good idea to talk about a couple of the characters that I personally want to see come back from both the Marvel side and the Capcom side, either as new fighters or returning fighters for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I am going to start off the Marvel side with someone that was already in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and that is Deadpool. Deadpool is just one of those heroes who is absolutely freaking hilarious. He's got an awesome personality. He was really fun to play with in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and personally, he would make a really good addition to the roster to have him back. And honestly, as I'm going through this video, I am going to warn you guys now, I don't know much about comic books, so I am not like big on the comic book lore or anything, or like where the hell some of these people come from. So if I do get any of this stuff wrong, feel free to let me know in the comment section and just politely correct me on that stuff. But yeah, Deadpool is awesome though, so I would definitely love him to come back. And there are a few X-Men characters that I would actually like in the game, even though I'm hearing that there is some sort of like dilemma between Fox and Marvel, where like it might not be possible to have X-Men characters in Marvel vs. Capcom. I hope that's not the case, because you already know Wolverine's a definite like shoo-in to come back. Wolverine definitely has to come back in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite as long as there's no problems with Fox. But one freaking femme fatale that I really want to come back from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is X-23. Her combos in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, she was one of my personal favorites to play with in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Her fucking combos are through the roof. She is a sexy female Wolverine, basically. She's got claws on her hands and her heels, so she is very agile. She had good speed. She had some really great combos if you paired her up with the right people, so I really do want X-23 to come back. And then, you can't have X-Men without the big boy Juggernaut. Juggernaut in the original Marvel Superheroes video game in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, he was an absolute killer. His strength and his defense was fucking through the roof. His big fucking brass knuckles would just knock you out in like less than 10 hits. It was crazy how much he depleted your health and how fast. But one of the other X-Men that I would actually like to see coming into this would be Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, I think, would make a really sick addition to the Marvel vs. Capcom roster. He could disappear and he can freaking... I forget what the hell Nightcrawler does. I know he's able to disappear, and I know he can blend into the night and everything. I know he had a really badass outfit and everything, and also a pretty badass personality. I know that Nightcrawler's got some pretty sick powers, so I think Nightcrawler from X-Men would be a really good idea. But that's going to do it for the X-Men. But one of the other heroes that I actually want to come back that was also in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was pretty cool to actually have in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as a playable character. He's fucking awesome with the freaking leather jacket, the flaming skull head, and everything else about him was just completely phenomenal. But there's one villain that is apparently an adversary to Ghost Rider that I missed the hell out of, that we didn't see since Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I would love to see how the hell this character would work in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And that villain is Blackheart. If you guys don't know who Blackheart is, Blackheart had some fucking demonic-ass powers. He freaking summoned like space meteors in the original Marvel Superheroes games. He spawned devils. He had like some sort of symbiote coating him. I'm not really sure what the hell Blackheart is, but all I know is that Blackheart was one of my go-to characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and the original Marvel Superheroes. Blackheart would have a sick design in the new one, and I think it would be phenomenal to have him come back. Speaking of villains, though, I'm going to come up to two more villains for the Marvel side to end it out. Then we're going to move on to Capcom. And I have no idea what the hell Marvel was thinking by not including Venom in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I don't know why you wouldn't have Venom come back in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Venom in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, he had some really sick powers. Like, he would use his symbiote and literally, like, take over entire areas of the stage, and it was just really insane seeing him in his really badass symbiote outfits, and you could pick all these different costumes for him. But if Venom doesn't make it into Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Carnage would be another great choice. I would actually like to see Carnage if they don't put Venom in there. Because Venom and Carnage are essentially the same thing in my eyes, just different types of symbiote. So either Venom or Carnage would be really sick choices for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And actually, I do have one more person that I think would be really good since Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was just announced as well. Honestly, put Groot in there. Groot would be a really interesting idea to have, to see how he would use his like nature powers and like summon vines or whatever powers that Groot has. Because I never really watched Guardians of the Galaxy too much, but I know that the Rocket Raccoon also made it in there as well. And again, if I am butchering some of the lore of this, please forgive me on that, because I don't really read too many comic books. I've seen some Marvel movies, but not a lot. But I do love the Marvel vs. Capcom series intensely, so that is who I would want from Marvel's side. Now we're going to move on to the Capcom side. And even though I never played this game in my life, I would love to see Amaterasu come back from Okami. That dog in freaking Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had some really awesome combos, and it's a fucking wolf. Who doesn't want a fucking wolf in the game? Amaterasu had some really nice combos to him when it came to everything. The fact they used his sword, the whole ink powers. I never really understood the folklore and the story behind Okami. It's a game I really want to eventually pick up. But Amaterasu I always just went to because he looked awesome. But if you guys have played Bayonetta, you probably would know who I'm going to also put on this list because she versed him in a death battle. And that would be Dante from Devil May Cry. And I'm not talking about that new age fucking Dante bullshit. I want Dante, the original Dante. White hair, red coat, sword in hand. Dante had some really sick moves in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He was another one of my go-to characters. Him and his fucking amazing sword and freaking all of his combos and his demon powers and the guns. He made a really great addition to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and he was one of the first characters I picked up on. But another interesting character that I don't think we saw in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but was really interesting for me in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is BB Hood. Again, I have no idea where the hell BB Hood comes from, but she looks like a fucked up Little Red Riding Hood. Apparently she had the Huntsman under her dress, and her special would freaking be like the Huntsman and her firing a fucking Uzi at the opponent. It was some crazy shit. That shit caught me off guard. But BB Hood would be really interesting to see in the new Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite for sure. But of course, we can't have Marvel vs. Capcom without some Street Fighter characters. And we already got Ryu announced, which is fantastic, but one of the other Street Fighter characters that isn't even in Street Fighter 5 yet, and I don't understand this, is Sakura. Sakura, yeah, she might be some schoolgirl and everything, but she has some fucking powerful-ass moves. She might not hit that hard in the games, but she has a lot of good combos, and Sakura overall is just a really cute character, and I really love using Sakura in the Street Fighter series. So Sakura really should make it into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, if not at least Street Fighter 5. I know we got 5 more characters announced besides Akuma coming to Street Fighter 5 from the PlayStation experience, but where the hell is Sakura at? And also, for that matter, where the hell is Dan Hibiki? We need Dan Hibiki back in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. He is fucking hilarious. I would just love to see Deadpool and Dan Hibiki go at each other. That would be a really amazing battle to see. But the ultimate Street Fighter character that I would want to come back, personally, I think Ryu is garbage. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to piss off a lot of Street Fighter fans by saying that, but if I had to pick between Ryu and this other character, I would definitely pick Ken Masters. Ken Masters has the fucking power of fire. Ryu does not have shit on Ken, in my opinion. Ryu's an awesome character, don't get me wrong. Ryu is fucking cool. But I would rather see Ken come back in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I already know we have him for Street Fighter 5, and he's one of the main reasons why I'll probably pick up Street Fighter 5 on the channel at some point. But I want to see Ryu and Ken team up for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Especially since we got a 2 vs. 2 system. You can't go wrong without Ryu and Ken. But I'm going to throw this next one out there because this one's pretty random. In Marvel vs. Capcom 2, there was a character that was very interesting. I'm trying to look up what game he's from again. Right. We have Otto Kanzaki from apparently Star Gladiator. I never played Star Gladiator. I have no idea who the hell he is at all, but Hayato was one of those fucking badass characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and personally, he has an awesome outfit. He has some sick moves in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, so I would love to see what they would do with him in the new one. I just think he'd make a really sick addition to come back. And maybe have some other characters from Star Gladiator make it into the mix too. You never know. But before we move on to my last three characters for the Capcom side, you already know that he was a really badass character, and I'm surprised it took him until the DLC to add him as a fighter. But Capcom, make sure you put Strider Hiryu in the original lineup this time for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, because fucking Strider is that badass ninja. I never got a chance to play the Strider games. I maybe played it once or twice, but Strider Hiryu is that motherfucker. Strider Hiryu is a sick character, and I honestly think that his moveset in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3 makes for some really devastating combos, especially with the swift swing of his sword, or his kunais, or whatever the hell he has. But again, Strider is one of those characters that you cannot leave out of the Marvel vs. Capcom roster. But for the last three characters, the fact that we got Mega Man X, I am so fucking happy when I saw that Mega Man X made it into this game. Seriously, we cannot have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite this time without Mega Man X, and we have to make sure that Zero comes back from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Zero was one of my go-to characters for my team of 3 on Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Seriously, I would love to see Zero make it back into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, especially if you got Mega Man X. If you have Mega Man X in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but you don't have Zero, there's going to be a real problem. But other than Zero, two other characters in the Mega Man universe I'd like to see make it in are Roll. Roll, just because she's just cute, and she was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and sorry. It'll be really interesting to see what Roll could bring to the table this time around in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But if not Roll, I actually have two more characters we could put in from the Mega Man universe. Why not put in Bass? Bass was one of the coolest villains in the Mega Man universe, as well as Dr. Wily. I mean, come on, Dr. Wily is one of those classic villains that you honestly could just have Dr. Wily in a mech suit. Hell, I mean, they managed to put in fucking MODOK in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so why not have Dr. Wily in one of his contraptions? I don't see why not. You have Tronbon in a freaking mechanized outfit. You have MODOK sitting in his little fucking specialized chair and shit. Fucking do it. Dr. Wily. I want to see that shit happen. But that is going to do it for the characters that I want to see in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I know this video went on for quite a while, but let me know down in the comment section below. Who the hell do you guys want to see in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? I'm really hoping that they end up bringing such an amazing roster to the table. I honestly want to see a roster that combines the best of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. If they could do that, I would love that and have the best of both worlds. And please let there be X-Men, because Marvel vs. Capcom will not be the same without no Marvel X-Men. It really won't. Without Wolverine, X-23, and all those other awesome X-Men, as well as the other Marvel heroes, I don't know what this game's going to turn into. I'm still going to pick it up regardless. But, again, let me know down below what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button for me. Definitely leave a comment down below. Definitely ring that bell if you guys haven't yet and become part of the notification squad. And also, if you guys are new to this channel, definitely subscribe and become a fellow Monster Gamer today. But, until the next video, my fellow Monster Gamers, take care.